Hey, Patriots fans! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved New England Patriots. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. This way, you'll stay updated and never miss any breaking news or exclusive content. The NFL world is buzzing with whispers that have taken the sports media by storm. And at the center of this whirlwind is none other than Christian BARMORE, the defensive powerhouse whose name has been synonymous with the New England Patriots' defensive resurgence over the past seasons. Rumors began circulating late last night, a time when most fans were scrolling social media for highlights. Yet what appeared was something far more consequential, a possible farewell from one of the team's most promising young stars. The chatter began in obscure threads and anonymous tips to sports reporters. Yet within hours, it evolved into a full-blown narrative, leaving Patriots fans in a mix of disbelief and speculation. Insiders claim that BARMORE, who has shown consistent growth in both skill and leadership, might be exploring opportunities beyond the cold confines of Gillette Stadium, seeking a stage that could elevate his profile and challenge him in new ways, perhaps even hinting at franchises with championship ambitions or emerging dynasties willing to invest in a defensive anchor capable of reshaping a team's trajectory. The murmurs aren't entirely shocking, given his contract situation and recent discussions about long-term career strategies. But the timing has created a ripple effect that has fans, analysts, and rival teams questioning what the future holds for a player who has, in many ways, become a symbol of Patriots' resilience and tenacity. Sources suggest that BARMORE's relationship with the Patriots front office remains professional yet tense, reflecting the subtle complexities that often underlie high-stakes professional sports negotiations. Observers note that while he has never publicly criticized coaching decisions or management strategies, private conversations hint at a player increasingly aware of his value and eager to assert control over his trajectory in a league that demands constant adaptation. Rumors of trade interest began surfacing as well, with teams known for aggressive defensive strategies reportedly placing discreet calls to gauge the feasibility of acquiring a talent like BARMORE without triggering league-wide frenzy or contractual obstacles. The social media landscape has responded with equal parts excitement and speculation, fans creating memes, polls, and theories that range from the plausible to the outright fantastical, a testament to BARMORE's impact not only on the field but within the cultural ecosystem surrounding modern football. Analysts dissect his stats, comparing them to historic defensive linemen who successfully transitioned between teams, looking for patterns that might indicate whether BARMORE's rumored departure could mirror prior high-profile shifts or carve an entirely new narrative in the NFL. The situation grows more layered as insiders weigh the potential reactions from teammates, the locker room atmosphere, and the fan base, each element contributing to a story that feels larger than the individual player, as if BARMORE's career decisions might signal broader trends about player empowerment, mobility, and strategic planning within the league. While some skeptics dismiss the whispers as overblown, others point to subtle cues that fuel the rumor mill, from BARMORE's recent off-field engagements to cryptic social media activity interpreted as signaling a major shift. Observers note that athletes often communicate their intentions indirectly, sending signals that analysts and fans decode with a mix of precision and conjecture. In BARMORE's case, the timing coincides with the Patriots' ongoing roster evaluations, contract negotiations with other key players, and the overarching narrative of a team perpetually balancing veteran leadership with rising talent. Rumors suggest that if he does indeed leave, it might not be under contentious circumstances, but as a strategic choice aligned with career longevity, brand positioning, and maximizing his leverage in future contracts, a maneuver increasingly common among elite NFL talent, navigating a landscape that blends athletic performance with personal branding. Fans speculate about possible destinations, weighing teams in need of a defensive anchor versus those capable of providing a championship-contending environment. These discussions frequently overlap with debates about coaching styles, scheme fit, and how BARMORE's skills might translate to a different organizational culture, highlighting the multidimensional nature of rumors and how a single player's potential move can dominate sports discourse. As analysts parse his game tape and track interviews, the whispers take on life, growing louder each day and igniting a mixture of hope, anxiety, and anticipation across the football community. Insiders also hint that the Patriots might already be preparing contingency plans in anticipation of BARMORE's potential departure, exploring draft options, free agency acquisitions, and internal promotions that could fill the defensive void left by a player of his caliber. These strategic conversations, though confidential, feed the rumor mill, suggesting a team aware of the broader implications and attempting to manage expectations both internally and publicly. Within the locker room, sources describe a culture of quiet focus, with teammates reportedly supportive yet conscious of the uncertainty, navigating the delicate balance between solidarity and professional ambition. Rumors speculate on how leadership dynamics might shift in his absence, noting that BARMORE's presence has been more than athletic. He has served as a moral and motivational pillar for younger players, embodying a work ethic and intensity that others often emulate. Analysts argue that losing such a figure could have cascading effects beyond the defensive line, influencing team cohesion, on-field communication, and overall morale. Meanwhile, social media commentary highlights fans' emotional investment, with many expressing nostalgia for his highlights while debating the fairness of management decisions. Whether BARMORE's rumored exit ultimately materializes or remains speculative, the narrative underscores the interplay between player agency, team strategy, and public perception, illustrating how a single potential move can dominate headlines and shape conversations long before official confirmation. Complicating the picture, rumors suggest that BARMORE's agent has been actively exploring multiple channels, discreetly reaching out to rival teams to test the market without prematurely alerting the Patriots. This type of behind-the-scenes maneuvering, while standard in high-level professional sports, fuels further speculation as insiders interpret each subtle leak as a signal of intent, prompting a chain reaction of analysis, debate, and projection across sports media platforms. Observers debate the tactical implications of a potential trade or free agent signing, weighing scheme compatibility, salary cap flexibility, and long-term strategic planning, creating a rich, multi-layered discussion that extends far beyond simple roster adjustments. Insiders have hinted that BARMORE's contract situation may be a pivotal factor driving the whispers, with his current deal nearing a stage where strategic decisions about extensions, renegotiations, or market exploration could become imminent. Analysts note that such scenarios are fraught with complexity, involving salary cap considerations, positional valuation, and projected career trajectories. Rumors suggest that rival teams with aggressive defensive schemes are closely monitoring developments, analyzing film, and modeling potential fit, all while attempting to remain discreet to avoid inflating market competition. The Patriots' internal response, according to sources, combines caution with proactive planning, exploring draft prospects, backup depth, and alternative defensive acquisitions in anticipation of any outcome, reflecting the meticulous preparation typical of a franchise navigating high-stakes personnel uncertainties. Fans actively participate in the discourse, creating polls, memes, and speculative graphics that visualize BARMORE in various uniforms, blending humor, hope, and analytical curiosity. This participatory culture amplifies the rumor, ensuring it maintains momentum across platforms and discussions. Observers argue that BARMORE's potential departure could serve as a broader narrative about player empowerment, contractual leverage, and strategic career planning in a modern NFL landscape, highlighting how individual moves resonate far beyond the immediate on-field implications. Adding layers to the speculation, sources indicate that BARMORE has been discreetly assessing options, weighing both competitive opportunities and personal growth, a balancing act increasingly common among elite NFL talent navigating a league that demands both performance and brand awareness. Rumors hint at private discussions with representatives from multiple franchises, exploring environments where his impact could be maximized and his long-term career trajectory enhanced. Analysts debate the strategic calculus behind such decisions, examining defensive schemes, coaching philosophies, market potential, and the cultural alignment between player and team. Meanwhile, fan engagement escalates, with social media buzzing with hypothetical trades, draft compensations, and franchise fit analyses, blending statistical modeling with emotional investment. Speculation also delves into the potential ripple effects on Patriots roster management, including salary cap redistribution, positional adjustments, and leadership recalibration, illustrating how a single player's potential exit can reverberate throughout the organization. Within the locker room, sources report a culture of quiet focus, tempered by awareness of external speculation, reflecting the tension between professional composure and the natural curiosity provoked by high-profile rumors. Every conversation, leak, or subtle action becomes fodder for interpretation, sustaining an environment in which rumor, analysis, and fan discourse converge, creating a narrative that is simultaneously intimate, strategic, and deeply engaging, capturing the attention of the football world at large. Rumors have also sparked intense discussion about the Patriots' long-term vision, raising questions about the balance between veteran presence and emerging talent, and how the potential loss of a defensive cornerstone could accelerate or reshape strategic priorities. Analysts posit that BARMORE's rumored departure could influence draft strategy, free agency moves, and even coaching decisions, prompting the organization to adapt in real time while managing fan expectations and maintaining competitive consistency. Social media engagement amplifies the story, with fans debating not only where BARMORE might land, but also how his absence could affect team culture, on-field performance, and morale, reflecting the emotional stakes tied to both individual players and franchise identity. Insider chatter suggests that management discussions are deeply layered, evaluating scenarios from retaining him at a premium to embracing a rebuild, each with complex financial and tactical consequences. Observers note that these discussions illustrate the evolving dynamics of player-team negotiations, highlighting how elite athletes increasingly exert influence over their careers while franchises navigate the tension between performance needs and fiscal responsibility. As speculation intensifies, BARMORE becomes more than a player under contract. He embodies a focal point for discourse about leadership, mobility, and strategic decision-making within the league. Fans, analysts, and commentators collectively shape a narrative that extends beyond the field, making the rumor of his departure a central storyline that dominates attention, discussion, and anticipation across the football landscape. In the midst of the swirling speculation, whispers suggest that BARMORE's professional demeanor remains consistent, with public appearances and interviews carefully calibrated to maintain composure while subtly fueling intrigue. Observers dissect his language, gestures, and phrasing, interpreting each as a potential hint regarding intent, a dynamic that illustrates the sophistication and nuance of modern sports rumor culture. Analysts note that these interpretive readings, while speculative, contribute to a cycle of engagement that sustains interest and amplifies the narrative, creating a social ecosystem where rumor, analysis, and media coverage feed into one another. Sources inside the league describe a scenario in which teammates maintain professional focus while privately acknowledging the uncertainty, navigating the delicate balance between solidarity and personal ambition. Fans actively participate, generating content that ranges from analytical breakdowns to humor-infused memes, reflecting both emotional attachment and narrative investment. Each leak, tip, or subtle signal reinforces the story, ensuring that attention remains on BARMORE and his potential next steps, while also highlighting the broader cultural significance of player movement in professional football. The interplay between perception, media amplification, and fan interpretation demonstrates how a single athlete can shape discourse, influence strategic considerations, and create a sustained buzz that transcends the immediate confines of the sport. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news. Rumors have prompted intense debate regarding potential landing spots for BARMORE, with analysts and fans weighing franchises' defensive needs, coaching styles, and cultural fit, producing an intricate tapestry of speculation. Some suggest that teams with aggressive, adaptable defensive schemes might offer the best platform for his skill set, while others argue that playoff contention and organizational stability will weigh heavily on his decision. The narrative is further complicated by considerations of market exposure, brand development, and career longevity, reflecting how modern athletes navigate multi-dimensional career landscapes that extend beyond performance alone. Inside the Patriot organization, sources hint at contingency planning, exploring draft prospects, positional depth, and salary cap allocation to address the hypothetical gap, demonstrating a franchise aware of the stakes and the narrative unfolding publicly. Analysts dissect film, project outcomes, and model scenarios, while fans amplify, remix, and debate every development, creating a participatory culture that both reflects and shapes perceptions. Every minor detail, whether a phrase in an interview or a subtle action on the field, becomes subject to interpretation, reinforcing the rumor and sustaining engagement. The speculation surrounding BARMORE's potential exit illustrates the intricate interplay between rumor, analysis, fan culture, and organizational strategy, making him a central figure in one of the NFL's most captivating narratives of the moment. Behind the scenes, whispers indicate that BARMORE's representatives are conducting a meticulous evaluation of market opportunities, weighing competitive prospects, organizational culture, and long-term financial considerations. Rumors suggest that discussions have been discreet, aimed at maximizing leverage while preserving professional relationships, a delicate balance typical of high-profile NFL negotiations. Analysts speculate on the strategic thinking behind such maneuvers, examining factors including scheme fit, positional demand, salary cap impact, and championship potential, all of which contribute to the broader narrative surrounding his future. Fans continue to participate actively, creating speculative content, debate threads, and hypothetical trade scenarios that mix statistical reasoning with imaginative projection, reflecting the blurred line between entertainment, analysis, and rumor consumption in contemporary sports culture. The ongoing chatter emphasizes how a single player's potential movement can dominate attention across media, influencing perceptions of both individual and organizational strategy. Social media amplification ensures that every detail, however minor, is magnified, sustaining conversation and curiosity, while insiders hint at the psychological and tactical adjustments being considered internally. The collective engagement underscores how rumors, even in the absence of formal confirmation, can shape narratives, fan expectations, and analytical discourse, positioning BARMORE at the nexus of speculation, strategic consideration, and cultural fascination. The unfolding rumor also highlights broader themes in professional football, including player empowerment, strategic career management, and the intersection of athletic performance with market positioning. Observers note that elite athletes increasingly navigate complex considerations, balancing team loyalty, competitive opportunity, financial incentives, and long-term career growth, a dynamic exemplified in BARMORE's situation. Rumors suggest that his decisions could influence both immediate roster configurations and the strategic calculus of franchises observing his potential moves, reflecting how a single career choice resonates across multiple dimensions. Fans and analysts alike engage in predictive modeling, debate, and content creation, creating a feedback loop in which speculation fuels further analysis, which in turn sustains engagement. The Patriots' internal strategy, while confidential, reportedly involves careful evaluation of draft, salary cap, and positional adjustments to mitigate any potential impact, a sign of the meticulous planning that accompanies high-stakes personnel considerations. Meanwhile, social media continues to amplify the narrative, with every tweet, leak, or observation dissected and circulated, illustrating how rumor, perception, and media interplay define modern sports discourse. In this context, BARMORE's potential departure becomes emblematic not just of individual ambition, but of the broader dynamics that shape professional football narratives in the 21st century. Finally, the Christian BARMORE saga, whether it culminates in a departure or remains speculative, has already left an indelible mark on the NFL narrative, highlighting the power of rumor, speculation, and strategic communication in shaping both fan perception and organizational strategy. The anticipation of possible movement creates a charged atmosphere where analysts, insiders, and fans collectively construct a storyline as compelling as any on-field drama, blending fact, inference, and conjecture. Rumors about his potential exit stimulate conversations about leadership, defensive strategy, contract negotiation, and team identity, extending the impact far beyond the confines of Gillette Stadium. Observers note that these dynamics exemplify broader trends in professional sports, where player agency, market leverage, and narrative construction intersect to produce storylines that captivate audiences and influence organizational planning simultaneously. Social media, analytics, and fan discourse serve as accelerants, amplifying every detail, interpreting each nuance, and sustaining attention across platforms. Regardless of the eventual outcome, BARMORE occupies a unique position at the intersection of athletic performance, rumor-driven narrative, and cultural engagement, demonstrating how a single player's potential move can dominate conversation, shape perceptions, and create a storyline that captures the imagination of the NFL community. The rumor, in essence, has already become part of football lore, a living, evolving narrative fueled by curiosity, anticipation, and the undeniable intrigue surrounding one of the league's most promising defensive talents. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.